man. Well, thank you for coming on. Um,
It's not a problem, man. I'm happy to take part, man, and just talk, man. And wherever the conversation goes, man, I try my best.
yeah, why don't you go in and tell a little bit about, well, introduce yourself first, and then go in and talk about a little bit about your story or kind of how it started and what happened with you, maybe.
Okay. I'm KJ, and I'm a Army veteran. Living in Central Texas, and for me, it started right around the time during the COVID-19. And I've always wanted to have kids, but I've always figured that I would do it the traditional way. Meet somebody, ask for their hand in marriage, get married, have a family, picket fence, and everything. But just knowing all the people who struggled through COVID, and me being a Army veteran, and like I know people who have trained their Army Rangers, and they're the epitome of what the body can be pushed to. And I see them, oh man, COVID really hit me hard. Man, I lost 15 pounds and everything. Or people I know that had family members make unfortunately pass away. And it left me feeling vulnerable and realizing that I really wanted to not I really wanted to be a father, help a young man grow up, a child grow up and become a productive member of society, but also leave a lasting legacy behind.
Yeah.
And so there was this young lady that we had been seeing each other, and it didn't really work out or anything, but we still remained friends. And so I figured that, she always talked about, oh, I would love to have another child, but so I figured with us being
Oh,
friends
wow.
that, yeah, that it would be that way there wouldn't be any confusion about like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's take this further, and everything.
Right.
Like, we're friends first now. So this would be the ideal environment to do
Were
a
you
co-parenting type
were
situation.
were you were you hoping it would turn into a relationship, or straight up we're just
No,
friends? Let's
no,
have, you want
no.
a kid, I want a kid,
No,
let's do it.
no, I was never under the impression or looking for a relationship. Like,
Yep.
I thought of her as somebody who not only would be a decent mother, but also would appreciate having a father figure, as she was someone who grew up without, her father actively in her life.
And
So
what
I
and what
figured
about
that,
her
oh,
kid she has now already? Did you say
yeah,
she already had one?
and she already had a daughter from a previous relationship where that father was also not in her life. I mean, and through her pregnancy and everything, like I would, hey, you want to go out to dinner later on the day, and I would provide her words of encouragement, just to know, just trying to be that positive person, like, hey, yeah, this is gonna be tough, but you're built for this. You can do this and everything.
And I mean, you guys both
So
agreed on this.
yeah,
And
yeah, this
and
wasn't
yeah.
any type of surprise or anything. I mean, with hindsight being 2020, I definitely would have went ahead, and did the legal thing and
Right.
put like pen to paper agreements. But I was from the perspective of, okay, you've seen me be there for you as a friend when you're going through your thing with your daughter, with your daughter's father. I've bought your daughter gifts and everything. Like, I've taken you guys out to dinner, and not, what I'm saying, to get brownie points or anything, but
Right.
just to let you know that,
Oh, I think we lost you. Oh, there we go. You're good now.
okay, like, worst case scenario, I'm going to be here to support my child.
Yeah.
And so I legitimately thought we had a understanding. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, like, things took a negative turn, and here we are.
So what? So you have zero custody, zero. You don't even see the kid, or what?
I have the non-custodial custody for the state of Texas, which means that I get to see my son every odd weekend and alternating Christmas holidays, and for 2 hours on Thursdays.
So how does that happen when you? Because obviously you guys went to court. I mean, it turned that bad where you guys
We're
went
in
to
the
court.
process of going to court. Like we haven't we actually have our final court date coming up.
Oh, okay, yeah. So but right now, is there any 50-50 in your state, or like is that what you're going for, or are you good with what
Uh,
you have?
the Based on the area that she lives in, well, since the child is primarily with her, like they use her address as the jurisdiction.
Right. Yep.
And speaking with my lawyer, he was saying that, like this, the judges from this court, they typically don't assign 50-50.
That's wild.
So what he recommended was that I go for custody. And if I win primary custodial, then I could negotiate 50-50 with her.
But see, the hard part with that, in my opinion, would be it's going to be hard to
Yes,
get.
yeah, because you have to like,
You're going to have to put her as like some shitty parent for you to get
yeah,
primary custody.
yes.
I'm surprised it went this bad where now you're going to court and having to deal with this when you guys kind of had that agreement in the beginning. What did something happen, or like after she gave birth, she was just like she just wanted it to be her kid and that was it?
Well, it all started after the like when she hit her third trimester, and she just became like normal conversations would just go completely off the rails.
Yeah.
And just weird things like she was like, once we were I had taken her and her daughter to dinner, and we were just having a general conversation, and she was like, yeah, just so you know, I'm not having any more kids. And my thought process was, yeah, I'm not planning on
We're on
having
the
any
same
more
page.
kids. I'm not going to have any more kids either. And the only way, and I just made the off comment, I was like, the only way I would ever consider having another child again is if I got married to somebody that was much younger than me, and it was their goal to have kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from that point on, she became cold and like, oh, like you tricked me into having this child. And I'm like, no,
Damn.
I didn't. I mean, we weren't even in a relationship
Right.
when we decided to have my son. Like, why would you even think that?
Yeah. Damn. And it sucks too, because like especially I mean, how old's your son now? I mean, probably fresh.
Uh, yeah, he's 18 months.
18 months. And it's like now for him to grow up in this situation, hopefully you do get 50-50, and hopefully, you're a part of his life forever. But it's like for you and the mother probably aren't talking. You're not on talking terms, or not on good talking terms, I assume.
Yeah, we're it's cordial at best case
You
scenario.
have to.
Yes.
Yeah, it just sucks for the kid. It's like my two daughters, when me and her mom split and all that, the mom wouldn't let me see them and blah blah blah. But it's just like my kids like needed therapy after that, because like it really messes with their mind, and that just kind of sucks. Like hopefully, I just hope you get more than every other weekend. I really hope you, because especially a young boy, needs that father figure in his life. And what sucks with that your friend, you kind of would have been, a father figure to her daughter.
Exactly. And that
Right.
was and that's what I told her. I was like, hey, if he's not gonna be in her life, then I have no issue being a father figure to her and
Yeah.
supporting her in everything that she needs, reminding her that, hey, you're a beautiful young lady and you should be respected and stuff. Like
Yeah.
a man should treat you like the queen that you're gonna be. And you should accept nothing else, and just things like that. Because I mean, I was fortunate to where even though my parents divorced, like my father was very active in my life,
Yeah.
always providing advice and showing up to my sporting events and everything, and it really helped me, I feel, become the success that I am today. And
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I didn't agree to have a child to be a part-time parent or
Right.
whatever. And it's crazy just from a political perspective. Like, there was actually a bill here in Texas that was set to make 50-50 custodial, like the mandatory
Yep.
the child, as long as they were like, within reason, like you had to be like in a reasonable regional area
Yeah.
and
Like
everything.
together living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or,
That makes sense.
yeah, living within a reasonable distance. Like,
Yep.
I think like 50 miles or so.
And that's where the courts would start from is 50-50. And that
50 would
how that
start.
isn't the case is mind blowing.
Yeah, especially, and it really bothers me that I live in a state that claims to be, oh, we're about family values and things like that. But it's like, yeah, you're about family values, but you make fathers who want to be in their child's life go through all of this. And
Yep.
it's unfortunate because I talk to so many guys and they just like, man, I don't have the resources to fight this.
That's the other thing. Yeah. Yep. Have you gone through anything like crazy or bad in with your attorney or like any part of the court system?
Not so much as crazy or bad, just the level of importance that they put on child custody cases where the father is like, if the father isn't active and behind on child support, they tend to get to those fairly quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if the father's like doing everything that he's supposed to be doing and waiting for a court date, they push those out. Like my court date actually got canceled because they scheduled two cases and the bailiff said, "Oh, well, can't you guys just come to some type of agreement?" And my lawyer's like, "Well,
We wouldn't be here if we could.
come to an agreement, we wouldn't be here in court."
Yep.
Like, this is why we're here, because arbitration doesn't work.
Yep. And are you paying any type of child support? Has she filed for any child support or anything?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're paying. I'm assuming you're paying full child support, and then you just
Yeah.
get every other odd weekend or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, when you get your son, do you get sleepovers and everything, and you have him for the whole
Yes.
weekend?
I get him from Friday at 6 p.m. till Sunday at 6 p.m.
Yeah. And I mean, it's great that you even get that time, but it just sucks that because that's such a little amount of time. When you think
Yeah, and
about it, you know what I
especially
mean?
at this age, like he sleeps 13,
Right. Sleeping all the time.
14 hours a day. So it's like
Yep.
literally, he spends majority of my time sleep.
Yeah. Yep.
Because when I pick him up at 6, he's yeah. By the time we get back to my house, I feed him, he takes a bath, and he's ready for bed.
Yep. Man, it's just crazy that you have to go through all this essentially bullshit court and all the it's a waste of money on both your end, your friend's end and your end.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, lawyers, they get their money up front.
Right, right. Yeah, everyone you guys lose. The only people who win are the attorneys. And what sucks is, down the road, within a couple years, she'll probably realize being like, damn, he is helping me. This is, it's going to be so much easier if I just, if we just get along. But it's like you're going through this shitty period where she can't come to that realization.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I mean, like I mentioned earlier, like she grew up without a father. She knows what it's like asking questions, "Where's dad?" or "Why my dad doesn't love me?" and that type of thing. And it's like you're essentially wanting your son to go through and your daughter to go through the same thing that you went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what sense does that make?
Yeah, it's just crazy too when you have a man who's ready to step up and she's coming with some baggage, and you're okay with that. So for her to, have another daughter, and you're like, I'll be a father figure to her. It's like, not like that's the reason she should be with you, but it's like to make it harder for her and for you. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I would think that even if she like was like, yeah, I still don't like you as a person. I mean, that's fine. Like some people you're just not gonna win over. But for her to at least see and respect the content of the character that I am projecting
Right.
and say, okay, I may not like this guy, but he does wants to do right by our
Right.
son.
And I keep
Right.
forgetting that you guys weren't in a relationship. It was just an agreement. So it's like it's even weirder that you guys are not getting along. It's just weird. But does her family or your family like know about any of this? Do they have any part in this?
My family has been, yeah, like they've been supporting through like the entire ordeal and everything. Like I've been keeping them up to date and everything, and I make sure every weekend that I get my son, that I video call them so
Yeah.
everybody can see his progress. And he got a chance to play with all his cousins and everything over the Christmas break because this was my holiday, which helped out a lot.
Nice.
And it was real nice. And but it's just like her thought process and all this is baffling because on Christmas, like Christmas was my holiday. So I technically got him from the day school ended until the 28th.
Oh, so they don't even split Christmas. This is
No,
your
no,
Christmas.
right.
Yeah, and then
But
next year will be
I
hers.
recognize that, hey, you know what? Like her daughter probably would want to see her brother on Christmas.
Right.
So I actually called her and said, hey, if you would come pick Kason up, that's my son's name, you can spend some time with him on the Christmas holiday. Just make sure you bring him back at an agreed upon time because me and him are going to eat Christmas dinner at one of my close friends' house or whatever. And she flat out refused. She was like, "No, that's okay. I'll pick him up you could drop him off on the day that you're supposed to drop him off. I don't want to interrupt your time." And I'm like,
Damn. See, she's not even thinking about the kid at all. She's just in her feelings on whatever she's feeling. But damn, especially for her daughter to have her brother, her half
yeah,
brother
so
there.
they can
That's
open up
crazy.
presents and
Right.
enjoy Christmas together.
Wow. And good for you for
And
even
she can
offering
take
that.
pictures and actually like have memories and everything. I
Yep.
mean, and so at that point, I'm just thankful that my son is healthy
Yeah.
and learning and growing and everything's good on that front. And while I definitely would have done things different, like I have no regrets. Like,
Yeah.
this is the most fulfilling thing that anybody can experience. Like
Yep.
being a father and seeing how your child, like, and your DNA, or just by your child noticing your actions start to like copy and mimic the things you do.
Yep.
And like last week, like my son, we both were sitting on the floor watching football, and I had my legs crossed, and then he just crosses his legs the exact same way I crossed my legs. And I was
Yep.
like, man,
Dude, it's a
that's
great feeling too. It's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
it touched my heart. It's like, man, this guy looks up to me. Like
Yeah.
my life has additional purpose and meaning. It's
100%.
the it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Yep. Yep. So do you have any tips or any advice you would give to any men out there? I know your story is a little bit different
Right.
because it's not like you were in a relationship, but court wise, anything. Do you have any advice to give to any men out there?
Well, for men, like if you have to go to court, like there are lawyers out there that are willing to work with you, but I definitely recommend that if you can afford to, definitely get a lawyer.
Yep.
Like, because lawyers are able to not only handle the paperwork, but they know, well, most of them should know the procedures and everything, and try to find that support or that motivation to keep you going, because I mean, I'm smiling and I'm able to see the bright side now, but there are definitely days where you'll like see your kid's toy on the floor, or you'll look at their empty bed and you'll get sentimental and wish that, like, man, I wish my child was sleeping in their bed right now, or I wish they were in my arms and everything. And don't be scared to talk. Like we as men are always taught that, hey, you're supposed to be strong. You're the strength of the family. You're the pillar and everything. Well, there's nothing wrong with admitting, hey, like, this is affecting me in this way. I need to talk to somebody and everything, because bottling up your feelings or holding on to anger or those type of emotions, like, they are gonna negatively impact not only your relationship with your child, but just your relationship with yourself. Like, children, no matter how young they are, they can sense your feelings and your mood. So
Definitely.
I make sure whenever I'm with my son that I'm always positive and focused on enjoying the little amount of time that we have, and hopeful that the court system will see that, and this is me being biased, that I'm the better parent, and that I'm the one that's willing to do the extra to make sure that at this young age that my son sees the value in both sides, and
Yep.
also that, like, I will provide him the best opportunity to be able and give him the most tools to be able to be a success and a productive member of society.
Yep. Yeah, that's great, man. Well, I'm definitely interested. I want to see what happens down the road if you get more time, or if it, because I mean, it's that sucks that Texas isn't doing 50-50 right at the jump. But
Well,
yeah.
it depends on the region. There are a couple of guys from the support group that actually they were able to get 50-50. Like, I don't know the details of their cases or anything,
Yeah.
but like, when I often read somebody's profile, and if they like, hey, I got everything or whatever, so that's great. So I'm quietly optimistic that things are changing, and judges are starting to see that, hey, we need to if there's fathers out there that want to be in their child's life, like, this is something we should start pushing,
Yeah.
because over it's unfortunate, but over 52% of families nowadays are growing up with a father without a father figure being
Right.
present.
Yep.
And in some instance, the system is directly contributing that, because they count absence as a father being there less than I think it's 45% of the time. And most standard custodial agreements are 75-25 split.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely needs to change, and hopefully by having more conversations and more men getting out there and really talking about it. There's so many dads who really try to be in their kids' lives, but it's one so hard with the mother not trying to do it, or then they have to go to court and then they have to get a lawyer. They don't have that type of money. So there's so many hurdles. I mean, granted, I would do anything and everything for my children, but yeah, man, I hope the system changes soon, for sure. I'm 5 years
Yeah,
waiting for
me
my
too.
for my final, so I'm still in court. But
Yeah, I just hit my year anniversary in October.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's a long process.
it definitely is a long process, and it will test your patience. But
Yeah,
and I understand for some of those guys who's like, man, I just got to tap out. I mean, hey, this is definitely a hard fight, and my only thing is, I would say, is don't tap out because you don't like your the system has exhausted you. Like,
right.
no, don't tap out. Like, if you tap out, just if you're tapping out because you're like, yeah, I'm not going to be a great father, or I don't know if I'm ready for it, completely understand. But don't let the system beat you down and make you tap out. No,
Yep.
just take a break, recharge your batteries, and continue to fight, which is a
Awesome.
hard thing to do. Like, it's
Oh,
definitely not
absolutely.
easy, but in the end, you'll definitely feel the value and the worth for doing it.
Oh, for sure. Yep. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I got to run, but I would love to stay up with you. I mean, we're Facebook friends, whatever. But I would love to stay up with you and see how your case is going. So
Oh, not a problem, man. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope it helps anybody who listens or anything. And anytime, man, you want to bring me back, man, just let me know, man.
perfect. Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, no
All right.
problem, brother.
Have a good
Take
one.
care.
Bye.
You too, brother. Bye.